Good evening. Welcome to Kent County Levy Court. Today is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Prior to opening the business meeting, I'll turn the floor over to the County Administrator to explain how those who wish to join us by phone and or WebEx can do so. Sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. This meeting is being held in person at 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware, in Levy Court Chambers. We also are making it available via the internet through WebEx. Participants can join us by phone or by computer during the meeting. There will be opportunities for public comment for those attending in person or online. When the President opens a public comment period, those attending in person may step forward to one of the two podiums and be recognized. If you're joining us by phone and wish to comment, please press *3, which will raise your electronic hand. Our operator will identify you and bring you into the meeting. Pressing *6 will mute and unmute your line. If you're online, you'll see a hand and microphone icon at the bottom of your screen. Please use those at the appropriate times. We ask guests to begin public comments by stating your name and address for the record. The county attorney will administer an oath or affirmation to anyone giving testimony during a public hearing. We ask the comments relate to the subject announced by the President. In addition to public hearings, there are two public comment periods, one at the beginning of the meeting for agenda items and one near the end of the meeting for general comments. This meeting is being recorded and will follow the rules of procedure adopted by the Levy Court as well as the Masons Rules of Order. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open the business meeting. I'll ask Commissioner Maston to lead us in the invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Scott, and moment of silence for our troops and first responders, Commissioner Sweeney. All rise, please.
Precious Lord, please give us guidance in this meeting because a lack of guidance causes a nation to fall, but victory is won through many advisors. Lord, let us not be misguided in this meeting so that we do not lead to decisions that produce ineffective results. I pray that you direct our steps so that this meeting can achieve our kingdom aims. We place you at the center of this. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our military, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have given their lives in the line of duty. Please remember all these individuals, first responders who died in the line of duty, as well as keeping their families in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of their loved ones. Trooper First Class Aaron Pelliter from the Connecticut State Police Department, Police Officer Jamal Mitchell from Minneapolis Police Department, Agent Davis Martinez from the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, Police Officer Joshua Breeze from the Gila Police Department, Senior Police Officer Vicente Ortiz from the Corpus Christi Police Department, and K-9 Officer Max from the Regional Transportation District Transit Police Department in Colorado. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. Ms. Tanaka, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Here.
Mr. Hertz?
Here.
Okay. Mrs. Maston?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 present.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. Need a motion on the adoption of the agenda for this evening.
So moved, Mr. President. Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Scott. A roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals this evening's agenda has been adopted. At this time, we have a place in the agenda for any public comments on agenda items that do not require a public hearing. Please keep in mind that this evening, ordinance LC 24-17, ordinance LC 24-11, LC 24-12, and LC 24-16 have been stricken from this evening's agenda, and they will be heard on Tuesday, June 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. So this evening, primarily what we have are introductions, and we do have one item, which is Fire Study Professional Services Agreement. So if anyone has anything they'd like to say on any of the remainder items on the agenda, now's the time. Seeing none, thank you. As I just stated, there are no public hearings, no introductions, and we'll continue on to old business, which there is none. We have new business. First item on the agenda falls under Commissioner Scott, the Fire Study Professional Services Agreement. Sir, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to do a quick background, last October, Levy Court passed a motion to join Newcastle and Sussex County statewide fire study, an event to evaluate the financial sustainability of the volunteer fire service in Delaware, and to allocate up to $200,000 towards for the cost of extending the scope of work in Kent County and our 18 volunteer fire companies. Further authorize the President of Levy Court to sign all necessary documents, participate where the funding will come from unrestricted general reserves. The project has moved ahead in Newcastle. Sussex County recently signed its own version of the attached professional service agreement. While we are confident the county will receive substantial grant funding, the prudent course of action is to plan to fund from the study of the contingency. So at this time, I'll make a motion to approve professional service agreement in the amount of $148,379 with Facets LLP, contractor of Lewis, Delaware, to perform a study of the volunteer fire service in Kent County, as previously discussed, where the source of funding will be FY25 contingency, and where Kent County may receive up to $100,000 in grant reimbursement, to authorize the President to sign the agreement.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Maston. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please, Mr. Tanaka?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals the motion passed for the Fire Study Professional Services Agreement. And now we'll continue on with Mrs. Maston. You have a list of introductions there.
Introduction of ordinance LC 24-13, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation and the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code, Volume 2, Chapter 205, Zoning Article 3, Section 205-8, Section 205-9, and Article 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000 as amended. Reference CZ 2404, Felton Drive-In LLC, for public hearing on Tuesday, July 30th at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Item 2.
Introduction of ordinance LC 24-14, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plain map designation and the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code, Volume 2, Chapter 205, Zoning Article 3, Section 205-8, and Section 205-9, and Article 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000 as amended. Reference CZ 2405, DB Capital Investment LLC, for public hearing on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Item number 3.
Introduction of ordinance LC 24-18, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation and the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code, Volume 2, Chapter 205, Zoning Article 3, Section 205-8, Section 205-9, and Article 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000 as amended. Reference CZ 24-06, BBB Properties LLC, for public hearing on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Item number 4.
Introduction of ordinance LC 24-19, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation and the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code Volume 2, Chapter 205, Zoning Article 3, Section 205-8, and Section 205-9, and Article 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000, as amended. Reference CZ 2407, TGO Delaware LLC, for public hearing on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Hall, you might want to take a drink of water before you begin these, but you have 12 introductions there.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introducing the following resolutions and ordinances pertaining to the fiscal year 2025 budget for public hearing on June 18th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Resolution 4056, the fiscal year 25 property tax rate. Resolution 4057, fiscal year 25 Old Mill Acres Suburban Park District tax rate. Resolution 4058, fiscal year 25 Royal Grants Suburban Park District tax rate. Resolution 4059, fiscal year 25 Eagles Nest Suburban Park District tax rate. Resolution 4060, fiscal year 25 Kent County Disposal District Number 1 user rates. Resolution 4061, fiscal year 25 Milford Library District tax rate. Resolution 4062, fiscal year 25 Duck Creek Library District tax rate. Resolution 4063, fiscal year 25 Lake Forest Library District tax rate. 4064, fiscal year 25 Caesar Rodney Library District tax rate. 4065, fiscal year 25 Capitol Library District tax rate. Ordinance LC 24-15, an ordinance adopting the annual operating budget for Kent County, Delaware for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st, 2024 and ending on June 30th, 2025. Lastly, Resolution 4066, command to the Director of Finance to collect sewer delinquent accounts by district as of March 31st, 2024.
Thank you,
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Under other business, Mr. Angel.
Move to go in executive session immediately following the business meeting for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for a publicly funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation, and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 100004, B2, 4, and 9.
Thank you. I guess I should have asked council, do we have need for executive session this evening?
Next week for sure. I think not right now.
Okay, great, thank you. Any informational items? Mr. Angel.
And if we could keep all the introductions and put them up on top of the dais, save Lori some time on reprinting these, and save her time and paper, so we have them for next week.
Sounds great. Any other informational items? Any public comments? Any public comments? Any commissioner comments? Mr. Scott.
Yes, Mr. President, we have a couple of them from the fire service tonight, and just FYI, we did propose the agreed upon increase this year in the budget, so it just needs to be voted on. It went through the introduction tonight, so hopefully we can get that accomplished.
Thank you. Any other? Mr. Sweeney.
Just so the commissioners know, 8 years ago today, we opened the Kent County Regional Gymnasium. So it's been open for 8 years, and over 8 years, it is just about 100% programmed out.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
Commissioner Angel?
Do we have a DAC meeting this month? with all three counties? The- Not yet?
Too early. I haven't got an email yet on it.
The last one was in April, right? April, May, June. Yeah.
Too early yet.
June 22nd is June.
Yep, I know, but we don't have an email yet from.
Okay. Thank you.
1 second. Any other commissioner comments? Need a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.